Once, in a valley far away, there was a beautiful village. But there was one problem. The village had no water. The nearest river was at the top of a high mountain. The village chief made an announcement. "I will pay anyone who can bring water from the river to our village tank." Two young men, Bruno and Pablo, took the job. Bruno was a very strong man. He bought two large, heavy steel buckets. Every morning, he ran to the river, filled his buckets, and carried them back to the village. He did this all day long. By the end of the day, Bruno was exhausted, but his pockets were full of gold coins. He was happy. He thought, "If I buy bigger buckets, I will make more money." Bruno started working harder. He woke up earlier. He carried more water. With his extra money, he bought a beautiful house and a large cow. Everyone in the village called him the successful man. Bruno was trapped in a cycle. Work, money, expenses, more work. Pablo was different. He wasn't as strong as Bruno. After a few days of carrying buckets, his back ached and his hands were blistered. He thought there must be a better way to bring water to the village. He had an idea. "I will build a pipeline." When he told Bruno about his plan, Bruno laughed so hard. "A pipeline? That's crazy! Why waste time digging in the dirt when you can carry buckets and get paid right now? Look at my house! Look at my cow!" But Pablo didn't listen. He decided to work part-time. Half of the day he carried buckets to earn money for food. The other half of the day, and all through the weekends, he dug the hard, rocky ground to lay his pipes. The first year was terrible for Pablo. While Bruno was relaxing in his big house in the evenings, Pablo was still digging in the dark. The villagers laughed at him. They called him Pablo the Pipeline Man. Bruno's body began to change. Because he carried heavy buckets every day, his shoulders became hunched and his legs grew tired. He was getting older and he couldn't carry as much water as before. His income started to drop, but his expenses for the big house and the cow remained high. Bruno was stressed. Meanwhile, Pablo's pipeline was growing meter by meter. He told himself, "Short-term pain for long-term gain." After 3 years of hard work, the day finally arrived. Pablo finished his pipeline. He turned on the tap, and suddenly water began to flow from the river directly into the village tank. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Water flowed while Pablo was eating. Water flowed while Pablo was sleeping. Water flowed while Pablo was on vacation. The village now had plenty of water. And because Pablo provided it so easily, he charged a small fee for every gallon. Pablo didn't have to carry a single bucket anymore. The money flowed into his pocket, just like the water flowed through the pipe. What happened to Bruno? He lost his job. The village didn't need a bucket carrier anymore because they had a pipeline. Bruno was strong, but he only traded his time for money. When his time or his strength ran out, his money stopped. Pablo, on the other hand, spent his time building an asset. His pipeline worked for him even when he wasn't working.